into the show
that informs, improves, and inspires racers everywhere.
The Northwest Race Report. The Northwest Race Report is brought to you by O'Hagan's Kart Supply, Lebanon, Oregon. You want to win? O'Hagan's wants to help. And by True Tech Automotive, Hazeldale, Washington. Get your car, truck, or tow rig repaired the right way, the True Tech way. And by Scott Seal Coat and Striping, Federal Way. For over 25 years, whether you're sealing or striping, you can count on Scott. And by Southern Oregon's karting headquarters, Speed City LLC, keeping racers on track with quality support and friendship. You're tuned in to the Northwest Race Report exclusively at terrybridges.com. And now back to your horsepower and performance hosts, Terry Bridges and Glenn Lippy Tower.
I was really excited on getting that win. It was my first win to the Dirt Series, and it was really exciting.
Good deal. Looks like the cart was working super good for you.
Yeah, it was. I had some help on cart setup through a friend of ours, and it seemed to work really good. I was really excited.
Now, you almost had another win on Sunday. You got all the way up to second, so you had a really solid weekend overall.
Yeah, I did. I was doing really, really good until I came around turn 4, and I kind of got into loose stuff, and I got connected with the wall, and it kind of really made me upset.
Well, sometimes it goes like that, man. Well, excellent job, and looking forward to seeing what you do at the BK.
Yes, me too. I'm really looking forward to it, and I can't wait.
Well, thanks a lot, Brian, and congratulations again on the big win.
Thank you much, Terry. See you at BK.
You betcha.
What is going on, racers? This is Terry Bridges, your horsepower and performance host, and welcome to another edition of Northwest Race Report. As always, well, I'm looking here, and I'm empty. But over here, old guys rule. The loader, Jeff Eden, in. What's going on, buddy?
Oh, just been a long weekend.
Yes, indeed. Oh, yeah, you were you? Oh, hey, wait a minute.
I was in Oregon with my wife and with her mom and her chemo stuff. So
that's right, because yeah, she's got it's colon cancer, right?
Yeah.
Oh boy, I'm sorry to hear that. Was good, but here's the cool thing: you got new glasses.
I can see.
Wow, those are actually kind of sporty, man.
Well,
yeah, they are.
They better be for what they cost.
I know, they're crazy. P1, baby, is, look at this. Wow, it is Dan Watkins. Close second. I don't know. It could have been a tie. They both say 1630. All of them say, or 1830. Boy, Mike Michelson. Hip, hop, hop. He had a good weekend, by the way. Hey, we got a great show for you tonight. Lippy's going to be talking about, he's going to go on his segment and continue on about what he looks for in the racetrack. You've got some more on the schedules.
Yep, more schedules.
Yep. I've got some interesting news. I'm just going to kind of be all over the place. Boy, but I got some stuff that's going to be of big interest come BK weekend. And then we also, our Blue Line Graphics in the seat guest tonight is going to be none other than Kemmer Karting's Tony Williamson.
Cool. Yeah.
I'll tell you, his little brofus, Brian, had a pretty good weekend this weekend. As you heard at the start of the show, he did really quite well. So, Lippenizer, what is going on, brother man?
What's happening?
Traffic blows, does it not?
Oh yeah, I'm in Renton again. I just can't seem to get away from that.
From that same place?
Yes.
What is going on? Well, hey, don't knock it.
Oh no.
You got the good stuff there. So
I got money falling out of my pockets. Just no time to spend it.
Yeah. How was your weekend?
You can let some fall this way.
Yeah, I'll bet. Yeah, a lot this way.
Mine sucked as far as the weekend goes. That, yeah, you were there. You know,
well,
I was a back marker all weekend.
It looked like you were struggling. You struggled really bad on Sunday. Saturday you weren't too bad, but
no, exactly. And I don't know what it was. You know, I turned good laps. 1174 was my best lap, which is a great lap down there, and the RPMs were where they should be. But Sunday morning I fired the cart up and warmed it up in the pit, and I was pitted next to Shane and Renee Biles, and I warmed it all up, and usually I can let go of the throttle, and within a couple seconds it dies, and the thing idled for like a minute all by itself. And Shane's coming out of the trailer, and he says to me, "Oh, that's not good.
That's
an
air leak.
idle.
It's an air leak somewhere, or I would think, isn't it?"
Yeah, that's the exact same thing Rusty said too. So we're both getting both hands on that tomorrow night, and we'll be figuring out whatever it is.
Yeah, what do? You just spray brake clean around until you hear it going, and then you know about where it's supposed to be. I guess I don't know. Is
that generally works? But I think we're just going to put a whole new bullet on there and have a fresh one for the BK. But yeah, it's something
seals. It could be anything. I mean, that's a crazy deal.
In the main, Jeremy Brown spun, and so I avoided him, went a little high, and from that point on, I could not make the difference up. I was down by a straightaway, and it didn't matter what I did. I just couldn't make it up. So, yeah.
Well, I'm going to say that's a damn tough class. Any way you look at it, any way you slice it up, it's a damn tough class. I mean, Finch showed up, and did you see? I mean, he just he rocked the house. I just don't. I mean, he was crazy good in the main.
He was crazy good, and I talked to him about that, and that is an old Junior 1 motor that he took the can off of and didn't do anything to it, and came out and ran it with us in that class. It's just
he's got some handles too, man. That cart gets around there, pretty dang good. I mean,
for sure,
because he was not that good in the heat races, and then all of a sudden, boom, in the main. Well, but we don't. That's the difference than the. We're not even going to go there, but because we've got some more stuff on that. Anyway, we got a great show for you tonight. Again, Tony Williamson. Looking forward to talking to him. We're just going to kind of get a feel for. He's a brand new UAS racer, no stranger to karting. But he is he's a newbie, I guess, as far as UAS goes. But yeah, Jeff, what you spent all weekend down there with your in-laws? Oh, in this case, I can't say anything like that because that's not a good thing. But on that same note, late on, I think it was Sunday, the Clarks took off. Maybe it was Sunday. Either Sunday or Saturday. I think it was Sunday. Heather Clark had to just bail out of there in a hurry because her dad had a heart attack.
Yeah.
So we're just everybody here at the show wants to, tell Grandpa. I know it's not Grandpa Clark. I don't know what her maiden name is, but anyway, I'm going to call him Grandpa Clark. I hope Grandpa Clark gets well quick. It sounds like he's in the hospital. He's okay, and they got everything Stabilized, yes, thank you. But that's a scary deal. I mean, but you just never know. So, Heather Clark, we are praying for you and hope that your dad is getting better soon. Before we get started with the rest of the results and stuff, I also want to give a shout. You guys need to go to dri-online.com and get your swag. Lippy went and got his.
Absolutely.
And you've got a chance to win some money here. And that's easy money. I mean, you buy a hat, you wear it. I mean, you potentially get paid back more than, well, a couple fold anyway. I wouldn't say tenfold, but but a couple fold anyway. So go to www.dri-online.com and use the code NWRR20. You get 20% off. That's a good deal, I'm thinking.
It worked for me.
Yeah, I mean that's a smoking deal. T-shirts, whatnot. He's gonna have some stuff up here, but don't wait. Just get it now. Get it done with. But he'll have some stuff here just in case. So, what are you thinking, Jeffrey? Should we get started? A little bit of results?
Yes, sir.
Let's
go
it.
for it.
Yep, let's do it. So we got some results from Salem. This is Winter Circle Wednesday, and we're getting after it. I'm still in the process of, what'd you think of that music, everybody? Let me know, because I'm going to get some, that's going to be my intro music for our Winter Circle Wednesday. Just hadn't had it all the way done, so I pieced together that, threw it together, but, oh boy. You know, we'll start off with WHR. They were up in Monroe. Since you guys don't like to come up from the south, you like to come down from the north. They were at Monroe. Did you get some stuff, Lip? Did you get it? He got some great. They were at Monroe only on Sunday. Boy, they must run a heck of a program through there for as many carts, and because they've got bikes and stuff there too, right?
Yeah.
Wow. Kurt Light went to Bobby Funkhauser. George Griffin was second. Cassidy Sunholm was third. Let's see here. Looks like no, that was the wrong one. Kurt Light was Bobby Funkhauser, Jay Barnes, and Reese Wickard. That was the one. I got that one confused with the heat race. I don't like when they put the heat. You know what I mean? I mean, I get it, but it's kind of confusing there. But anyway, Kart Heavy had 20 entries. Keith Wickard, Lane Sunholm, and Brett McGee, 1, 2, 3. Pro had 11 entries. Bobby Funkhauser, dude, was on fire. Levi Hartless and Tyler Weber was there. He was third, and then he was also third in the open class. David Jensen, Reese Wickard, and Tyler Weber. 40 plus, Keith Wickard, Jay Barnes, and Russ Johnson. Schoolboy, Carson Sundholm, Caleb Irvin, and Kylie Kylie Kraus. So is that Kaylee? That's Kaylee Kraus. Mini Cart, Braden Wager, Brooklyn Constance, and McKenna Morgan. The Quarter Midget Outlaw, Braden Wager, Jaden Whitney, and Kira Zolstra. And finally, the Junior Sprints, Justin Jacobson, Donnie Carter, and looks like Carlin Kocher. So that's what happened down there at WHR. How about we go to Salem? So we go down the freeway about 3 hours, I-5, as the crow flies, to the Oregon State Fairgrounds. Two days of racing there, which was pretty cool. Boy, but was it cold. Am I lying, Lippy?
No, God, it was not fun. It was definitely cold down there. I had 19 degrees on Saturday morning when I got up and 20 degrees on Sunday when I got up. So it was cold. I even seen some shots of the track where somebody was, I think it was Doc, was shooting the track, and it was 21 degrees midday on the track.
21 degrees. Can you imagine that?
Frozen.
It was. And it was crazy. Shivering. I had my rain gear on over my trousers just to keep the wind from. It actually works pretty good. You'd be surprised what that works like as a windbreaker. But anyway, on Saturday, Super Sport Heavy, 2 entries, Dennis Flint and Wade Bauman. Flint wins it. On KT Heavy, this was crazy. Great race. And they ended up going to Tech to make the final call because we'll see. By the way, I got to say, Markham took a spill like crazy, and that was a little bit spooky for me because he was actually
It was definitely.
He was actually. Hang on a second. I got my clapper. It should work. My clapper's on there. It should. It's down below. It's unplugged. I turn it. You can hit the light on. But yeah, it was crazy scary. I mean, he came out of there like a rag doll. He was just sort of spinning around. But so I saw Lippy start, and you got to unplug it out of there. You go. And I saw Lippy stop, and he gets out, and he was like, he wouldn't even talk to you, right? Well, I didn't know you did it at the time or got involved in it, whatever. But was everything cool afterwards?
No, he's still pretty mad at me for that one. And it was very unfortunate. We were both fighting for the same piece of real estate. I was on the outside. He was on the inside. He came up. I didn't grab any brake. Figured he'd bump into me and figure out where I was, but the track was so frozen. As soon as he touched me, he just went sideways right in front of me, and then into the wall after that. So I felt bad, and it affected my racing for the rest of the weekend for sure. So I said my apologies to him. I don't know how many times, but he did shake my hand, and that's as far as it went. He's still not talking to me.
Well, he's got to know that's, I mean, come on.
It's what happens, It was a rough weekend for him. I know he was getting pushed in the start of that race, because I could see both hands in the air as he was flapping him around. Somebody was pushing him from behind. I believe Kravitz was behind him. I talked to Kravitz, and he said he was getting pushed, and I'm not sure who was behind him. So, yeah, it was a good weekend.
Was it?
It was cold.
It was cold, and that didn't probably help anything, right? So
no, it contributed to the problem because I've been in that position before, and it didn't end that way. So it's just very unfortunate, and I haven't recovered myself either. So
well, yeah, I mean, but we all know it wasn't on purpose. So at least he's okay. That's the main thing. I noticed he wasn't there on Sunday, but he's probably a little bit sore, but. Anyway, they go through Tech, and Markham and who won? Finch. Both got DQ'd for bodies. I guess it was body work that got them. They originally DQ'd Kravitz, right? But then they give it back to him.
Yes.
Because they remeasured and...
So the rule, and everybody should be listening to this in the KT class, the rule is at the axle... center line from the ground up at the axle, it has to be below 26 inches. And then once you get up to that 26-inch mark, it has to go from that 26-inch mark down to the front spindle, the center of the spindle. So if your side panel is higher than that, then it is illegal. So
in other words, you can't go 26 inches to about where your seat ends and then cut it down like the UAS guys do.
Exactly. A lot of them like to go from the 26 inches to the top of their nose, where the nose rounds over the top of the front tire. That's illegal. It has to go to the center of the front spindle in order for it to be legal.
That's a stupid rule. It's an IKF rule. An IKF rule is basically they're done. So I think somebody needs to, revamp that stuff because body work like that should be open. I mean, unless it's some crazy conglomeration that's going to kill somebody. I see, you got to have something to be able to work on. But
I think Rick Grout had the best description of that. We should open it up a little bit. It doesn't need to be a UAS side panel, but there needs to be some creativity so that all of our carts don't look exactly the same.
Amen. So. And that rule, if you look at it, they look like crap when they're like that. It's like putting a triangle on the side of it. I mean, it's just ugly. But anyway, I don't make the rules. We just follow them and, maybe, and enforce them.
There you go.
Kravitz wins it. Carissa Peru was second. Glenn Tower makes the podium on that.
I did.
Fart Carts, Matt Finch, Kyler Culver, Renee Angel. Matt Finch got his motor claimed again on Saturday. And then he was also... taken away the win, right? Because they found some.
He had vacuum lines that were disconnected on the motor, so that's what got him DQ'd. They were running fuel tests all weekend on the classes down there, but his problem was he had vacuum lines that were taken off of the motor. So
and the shame of this all is that this is the fart cart class. This is the Predator class. This isn't the Yamaha class or This is the Predator class, which is it just blows my mind that we're even having to do this, but that's okay. Sumo went to Mikey Clark, Darren Markham second, LO206 Brian Williamson, I thought looked really good.
Very good.
He won it. LO206 Light went to Becca Clark. How about her? That little boy, she rolled it, didn't she?
I'm telling you.
Man, that little girl just got with it. And another big shout out to a newbie. Never raced anything in his life. Elijah Gibb was second. And I got a nice message from his dad thanking me for announcing and stuff. But, man, what a great job he did all weekend long. Kyle Keenan was third. King Kyle. He struggled just a little bit. Those two kids, I don't know if they were way lighter or not. I don't know. UAS. Good to see Ron Bowles in the house.
Wow, yeah.
And he looked pretty strong.
He did. I went and shook his hand. Did you
Yeah.
clap?
Yeah, I don't know. No, I didn't. But Anna Singleton was second. Chris Worley was third. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with it. You can just unplug it and plug it. That's what I'll just unplug the whole thing. That's what I did. I thought it would work, but anyway. Chris Worley was third. Uh-oh, you unplugged the computer. Oh, the mixer. Just the word was, yeah. Oh, you get it? Are we back? Are you guys still there? He killed the mic. Are you guys still? We're still here. Okay, good. So yeah, what'd you think of Chris Worley? The 55.
Woohoo!
Did you notice, or did you pay much attention, or were you pretty busy?
I was busy.
Okay, he looked good. He came from Tri-Cities. He was one of the few guys that was running Yamaha. What is it? A YZF or YRF or
YF 200?
Oh no, it was a 450, whatever they are.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Is it a YRF or is it a YFR or whatever the Yamaha is 400? It was killer.
I'll just give him credit for getting there from the Tri-Cities.
Yeah, Ricky Worley was there. He had problems. On Sunday, Flint wins Super Sport. Boy, Brandon Finch is going to be tough in the KT class. Chuck Jones second. Good to see Chuck there. Justin Beard third. Matt Finch wins the fart carts after he goes to Harbor Freight and gets a motor on Saturday night. He goes and buys another one. Everything's okay. You know who I thought was going to win it? Double M. He was flying. I mean, I thought he was really going to win that deal. But Finch caught him and got by. He was second, though. Mikey Clark third. Darren Markham wins the sumo. And then Mikey Clark was second. 206 regular, Hatch, Green, Normandin, 1, 2, 3. That was a good race. That was a heck of a class. 206 light, Becca Clark, Elijah Gibb, Kyle Keenan, and UAS. It was the assassin, Chris Passanante, Tony Williamson, and Anna Singleton. They didn't have too many UAS guys there. Ronnie didn't make it because Uncle Chuck was sick and couldn't make it, so it was out. The Iron Man wasn't there. I don't know what was up with that. He wasn't there. Carr wasn't there. Nobody was there, really. It was just the same old, it was Williamson, Singleton.
Well,
I think
Anna's stuff stayed together then.
Absolutely, it did. They
Cool.
switched. They actually switched cars. They put it on their Stinger, which everybody thought was going to be a little bit too weak, and maybe break. They thought that big motor would just wad it up. But she said the push was gone. It didn't appear to me that it was gone, but she said it was gone. So I mean, if that's
yeah, but the last couple times I've watched, it's been mechanical failure.
Yeah, absolutely.
So she got laps in without mechanical failure. There's milk. That's better.
It is.
She's learning to drive with a push.
Yeah, she's just overcoming it. Actually. So yeah, that's it. Upcoming events, I've got down here this weekend coming up, the micros and the cage carts and the Pro 4s and the mini stocks and the dwarfs, who Double M's soon going to be doing as soon as he can pedal that cart. That is the 21st, 22nd, this next weekend, 2-day show. And then, this is kind of, and then the 22nd will be Monroe again, race number 7. But OMC scheduling a race the same day as the BK? Really?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know that I understand that.
They obviously don't know what they're doing.
Wow. So anyway, OMC is running for those of you over there that aren't going to be at the BK, the biggest race on the West Coast, west of the Mississippi. But then the 28th is also the Buddha Kinzer Memorial, BK9. I am so stoked. Fart Cart 200. Yeah. Fart Cart 200. So, yes. I've got some news on that. Do you want to hear the news, or do you want to wait till later?
I don't know how we doing on time.
Just keep right on a pedaling.
We just right on the pedaling.
Keep on a pedaling.
Well, what's your schedule like?
Just keep
on a pedaling? Check this out. Okay, so just so you know, on Sunday is the big Fart Cart 200, right?
Woohoo!
Lippy, you're involved. Who are you rolling with, Michelson?
Yes, I am.
That'll be a good team. That's the Team Northwest Race Report. So
that's it. I'm the first half.
Heck yeah, baby! I love it. So 200 laps. So at 100 now, it's at 100, right?
I guess so.
Do you stop and switch? I think they should make it so you have to stop and switch. But that's not like stop and reorganize. I mean,
well, we have to pull lead off and on because I don't weigh enough. So that's our savior there. I'm just hoping they don't have a breathalyzer to get it started because it's 9 o'clock in the morning. I'll probably just be going to bed then. So. It is.
You will
BK.
from the BK. That's true.
I'm wondering if they can use the fuel checker.
Yeah, really.
Well, you got one. Maybe you can see if it works, right?
It's in use now.
Oh, Hatch got it, or they got it downstairs? Well, here's the deal. So I talked to Suchich today.
Oh, nice.
And he says, okay, so for the 200 lapper, he says, I've got a sponsor that's going to sponsor all the fuel. So everybody's going to be using the same fuel out of the same barrel. He's also got a sponsor for jetting. So everybody's going to get a set of jets that they're going to put in. And then they're also going to pull all the side covers and check the timing.
Nice.
So you get fuel, you get jets, and you get your side cover pulled to check your timing. That's what they're going to tech on the Fart Kart 200. So
that's keeping them honest.
That I don't know what else you can do, really. Quickly check without returning it to them in a box. But you know what? If nobody likes that, that's tough because you started it.
Yep, you
started it. You brought it to this, and so you have nobody to blame but yourself. That's what I say.
There you go. Well, it's already
it's ridiculous, is what it is. It's absolutely ridiculous. I'm just going to put it out there. If you got to cheat in the fart carts, man, you are like an inch tall. It's ridiculous. I mean, race it for what it is and call it good. I mean,
well, I thought it was supposed to be a fun class to start with.
Exactly. I mean, so to even cheat in that is just ridiculous. I mean, it's absolutely just It fires my shorts is what it does. But anyway.
Easy.
I know. Easy. I'm done.
We haven't caught anybody yet.
Not yet, but, I mean, well, why are they claiming it? Why? I mean, right? You got vacuum lines off. Why would vacuum lines be off?
Well, in his defense, the vacuum lines that were off weren't a power adder or anything like that. And I think that
do they just fall off or what? Or did they not come hooked up or something or what?
No, it was a performance issue that some speculation a while back that if you took them off, it would not miss and fart when you came into the corners. It's since been dispelled, but he was never replugged back in. So, just the fact that he was able to go to Harbor Freight that night and put another motor on it
and do the same thing.
I mean, he passed fuel tech and everything else, and to see Brandon do well in the fart cart class, and then to move up to the KT and do the same thing in the KT class,
it starts saying, hey,
like Finn, I just
DeMars.
I just drew a blank. Who has my fuel tester right now?
Oh, Hatch.
Like Hatch said, we've tested their fuels on all the classes down there. The fart cart, the F2 or the 206 class. All those guys have been going through fuel check. Everybody's fuel has been passing tech without a problem. So it's it's time for the rest of us to start working on our setups. These guys that are dominating aren't new to our sport. They've been doing it for many, many years. They just came back to us. So it's time for the rest of us to step up to the plate and run them down.
I agree. And so it's time for we going lapping?
Lapping with Lippy.
Let's do it. We are going lapping with Lippy.
All right, everybody, it's Lappin' with Lippy, brought to you by Scott Seal Coat. If you got a sealing or striping need, get a hold of Scott Seal Coat and we'll stripe it or seal it, whatever you need. Anywhere in the Northwest up here, just let us know and we'll get her taken care of. So, we've kind of been beating around the bush a little bit and talking about tracks and track conditions and different things like that.
Does 21 degrees affect it?
Wow, does it ever affect it? And that's not in any of my storylines so far, so I'm going to have to work that one in later, because frozen tracks are really, really fun, but not really conducive for good laps. Anyways, so, I hear this a lot, how hard can it be? After all, you're all doing the same thing, going around the same circle over and over again. It shouldn't take that much effort to, get the cart underneath you on a dirt track. It's dirt track racing. Fast as it is and slow as it is, it's just dirt. It really can't be that hard. After all, these are just go-karts, and that's with a C. Cart with a C. Are you just the same anyways, or is it a motor combination, or what is it? So it's quite obvious that most of the comments you hear like that come from people that don't get out on a dirt track, don't know how the track indicates how much grip you're going to have, how much cart you're going to be able to put underneath you, how hard you're going to be able to drive it into that corner or off of the corner for that matter. Over the years, I've heard many of these comments come from people that that are new to karting or just watching karting. That it's it just can't be that hard, but it is really that hard. Each surface is different, each track is different, and they all have their own characteristics, they all have their own idiosyncrasies, they all ask for something different, and it's really up to us as a racer to try and decide what it is that they want. And nobody's going to give you that information. It's up to you to, spend the time, learn the dirt, learn the clay, learn whatever the surface is that you are dealt with, and, make the best choice, whether it be tires or setup or what have you. It's all up to you to decipher what is out there and how it changes throughout the day. In this article, we're putting it together so that you can make your dirt cart quicker, because that's what we're all after. We want to try and figure out what the surface is, how much moisture's in it, and then how long the moisture's going to stay in there. That's the big thing. Moisture is the key for us. That's what gives us our grip. And if we don't have moisture in there, then we go into a state of dry slick, which can be very taxing and single groove and not a lot of fun to race on. But sometimes that's all we get, and that's all we that's all we have to deal with. So again, it's up to us to try and decide what's going to be the best combination to work with the surface we have. So there's several different dirts out there. There's several different tracks out there, and they all offer us something different. Personally, I don't like the fact that the people that run the tracks decide what we get to have. In some cases it's good, in some cases it's bad. Me being a track person and a prepper, I do have that advantage because I know how much water's in a track. I know how much grip is going to be in the track that day, depending on how we set it up. But as a racer, you don't get all that inside information, and so sometimes it's up to you to get out there on the track, make your way around the track, skid your feet around, and look at the surface. I always like to take a screwdriver with me and drive it down into the surface of the track, because generally when it stops penetrating the surface is when you've got past the moisture and where the surface starts to get solid again, and that's where the moisture isn't down that deep. So by being able to poke the screwdriver down into the track and penetrate it to the dry layer when the screwdriver decides to stop, that'll give you an indication of how much moisture is actually in that track. And depending on where you are and the weather conditions that day, everything plays a factor on this. Is there a breeze? Is there no breeze? Is the sun out? Is it overcast? Is there going to be any clouds at all that day or not? These are all things that add to your grip, traction, whatever you want to call it. Changes in the track conditions may require, different tire compounds, different pressures, different chassis adjustments. Movement of weight on the chassis is a big thing as well. Gear changes as the track dries out during the day. Don't be afraid to, make a gear change to stay on top of it, or if the track's drying out, to help you slow it down a little bit so that you can get the cart underneath you instead of just spinning all the way down the straightaway. Different things like this are all, part of what you need to learn. When you leave a track, you should be putting notes in your book to say, this is what my final gear was, this is where I was happiest, this is where it was the fastest. And so when you come back to that track, don't be tunnel vision and don't put that gear combination back into it, that setup combination back into it, and expect to go there and run the exact same. Even though that's the way you left the fastest, it doesn't necessarily mean that that's the way you're going to be, the fastest this time around. So, always be trying, always be looking at it. You've got several different things to monitor. You've got your tack. I hope you have a tack on the thing so you can tell what your lap times are going to be. You can tell what your maximum RPMs are, and if you're getting too high, you need to add. If you're getting too low, you need to, take away, or vice versa. Whatever the case may be, you need to be monitoring that and trying to stay on top of it. It's all about traction out there. So it's also a great getting a balance of transfer of weight and the amount of front end traction will indicate how much steer you're going to get out of the back of the cart, because the back of the cart will steer the cart just as much as the front will. It's real easy for people to think that they have a push in the front of a cart because it's pushing the front, but really it's not. It's the back end that's overdriving the front end. So
Hey, Lip, can I just interrupt? Daryl Kessel put day or night race too. Does it matter?
Oh, absolutely. It's all about temperature too. Temperature change and sun. For us, the club, we race generally just in the summertime. So, and it's all during the day with the heat of the sun. So, you have that plays into it. And then when nightfall comes and you drop 10 degrees or 15 degrees, it's everything should change when that happens, and you should change along with it. So it's your responsibility. So basically what I'm getting at is you have your cart, you have your setup, it works at that time, but you always have to be paying attention to the track conditions. You should be going out there between the heats and the mains to make sure that the track is either the same as it was during the heats, or if it's not the same as it was during the heats, you need to make changes to your kart to adjust for what is happening to the track conditions. Salem was a great example this weekend. When we started the races on Saturday, the track was definitely frozen. The first heat race, it was frozen solid. With everybody running on it, the top layer got a little softer. The second heat, it was a little bit better. The groove got a little bit wider. And by the mains, it was a totally different track, and it was up to us to, figure that out and make the right choices and make the right adjustments to keep everything up front. So you can never walk the track too much. You can never, Is it fluffing? Meaning, is it shredding some of its surface? They do that. If it's not, then it's going in a different direction, which is a dry slick. Next week we'll probably get into the different types of surfaces that we race on, and not just us, but across the country. There's different types of clay, and I'm going to talk about the different types of clay, and what to expect out of the different types of clay, and what's going to make the best bite and what's not going to make the best bite. So I think I'm bumping up to my.
You're getting close. But I got a question for you.
Sure.
Isn't within this walking to the track and doing these things, isn't this the prime time for these youngsters to be out there with somebody looking at this instead of playing around back there in the pits?
That is a great point, and thank you for that. That is a great opportunity for the adults to take their kids out there, because this is something else that doesn't really I don't see a lot of, and that is taking your kids out there, showing them where the optimum line is, showing them why you want them to be in one spot or not this spot, because there is grip here, there isn't grip out here. And, trying to give them a point of when to turn in and when not to turn in. That's great points about that. And the more you can get them involved, that just down the road, they start to feed you more information and being able to answer questions that you ask of them about their cart. So, that's a great question. Thank you for that.
Awesome stuff. Lapping with Lippy, everybody. That's he always comes up with good topics, and you might say, well, I've heard that before. I know. I get it. But really, this isn't a matter of us trying to say we know more than you or we think we know. It's just a friendly reminder that sometimes we tend to get going, and if you know what, great. Can't hurt you to hear it again, but for the new people, it's important. So, good job, Lip. I love your segments. They're always good and informative, and that's awesome.
We'll keep this one going for a while.
Hey, we're going to talk a little bit about the BK here in just a second. We got one of our main dudes here, Rippin' Ron Bowles. Thanks for tuning in, Ron. And we're going to see what's going to happen here coming up shortly. We'll be right back.
The 3 most expensive things you'll do in your life are buy a house, educate your kids, and go racing. What you don't need is another expense, and that's why you take your car and tow rigs to TruTech Automotive to ensure that they are maintained and repaired the right way with the right parts at the right price. And how's this for right? Extended to all racers is the In the Family 25% discount off of all preventative maintenance and repair labor. All you have to do is use the discount code NWRR to save. Now that's right. Get it done the right way, the TruTech way. TruTech Automotive, 6900 Northeast Highway 99, Hazeldale, Washington. 360-571-2302. Racing. It's preparation. It's focus. It's attention to detail. And when you try to take shortcuts, it shows. At Speed City, Southern Oregon's karting headquarters, distributor for Ultramax, Legend, QRC, Bell helmets, and K1 race gear, they don't roll like that. Speed City is committed to roll the way champions roll by keeping racers on track with knowledge, integrity, and performance. No shortcuts, no negativity, no other motives. You don't just have their word on it, you've got their name on it. So get back to having fun and get to calling Speed City. Speed City, LLC, keeping racers on track with quality service and friendship. 541-531-1222.
Oh no! There we go. How's that? Is that good?
I remember
How's that?
when we were
Yeah.
talking to the guys down there in Arizona, the announcer down there, and they were talking about getting the news there before their big races, and that would be the big thing down there. You know, if you can get the TV and get the TV time, even if it's just a 30-second spot, or maybe you can get even more than that. But if you can pique their interest, that it gets onto the regular TV,
Right. Well, I think, remember when we had the outdoor track there at Salem when they were going to do that? They called. It was going to be early, but they had on Fox. They had this. I don't know. It was Good Morning, whatever it is, right? AM North or something. And they had this guy that would float around. So we had a whole bunch of people there, supposedly gonna be there to do a little exhibition for them. But yeah, that's the stuff that needs to. Man, could you imagine if we could get the news down there? Like take 4 fart carts and get channel 12, get channel 6, get channel 8, whatever, and get somebody down there and do a 10-lap exhibition thing for the news. They'd all be there, and they'd all be
Get the fart carts there, and then put the news guys in there.
There you go.
There we go.
But one of the things that
And they could be part of that fart cart 200.
we had when Steve Beitler went to Yakima with this race 2 years ago with the trying to run the modifieds and the sprint cars, and really nothing's going on in Yakima. That track's pretty much dead, so racing isn't a big thing. And I don't know how many banners he had around town, but I mean, he hung banners on every fence, every place he could. And I was surprised there was probably 4,000 people in the stands.
We know Lippy said he did that, and he couldn't. They got next to, of course, that's in Raymond, of course, but
small town.
I suppose the guy should put his head together, and
I mean, it's just,
you need to. Well, there's nothing in Les Schwab, I'm sure, that's anything like which should be, or who did we used to have? Didn't we used to have a Canets? They used to help out. I don't know what happened to that deal, but I was in there Saturday because I had a screw in my tire, the only screw on the fairgrounds property, and I run over it.
And it was loose. And it was loose.
And you know what? It was loose, but I didn't know if it was screwed all the way in or not, like too far. So, but I went over there, and they fixed it for nothing. And I told them, hey, I'm over there, and you should come over tomorrow. I said, you guys come by, and who knows? At the end of the day, maybe we can get you a little ride on something. Like put them in a fart car or something. So you should show up, guys. Oh, yeah.
Hilliers Tire and Wheel. There's Dale, all the Dale's crews around there. They all like racing. Fact is, a couple of them, they got kids now that would be racing.
Woohoo.
Yeah.
So stuff like that. It'll come about. We just got to work on it.
What's GF9?
We're throwing it out there.
I'm the race director for the GF9. Don't mess with me, 19. LOL. What is GF9? Girlfriend? No, I don't know. What is it? Man, Ronnie's in trouble.
Go find the 9.
Yes, I did.
He hasn't been at Salem.
Yeah. He may pay for that.
What's he?
Goldfish 9. Okay. Yeah. Well, I think Friday night I'm going to try to put something together for after practice. So, that's on the that's the goldfish. But because Yao wanted to do something to get together, so we should do something, whether it's at the track there or he wanted to do something where he could actually. He says we should get together, do something like pizza or something where we could go, and those that want to go and talk, and I'll tell them what I'm running and what I do, and talk prep and all that stuff. So he was fired up. So he goes, I said, well, yeah, I'll see, but we got the goldfish race, but after that, maybe I don't know, maybe we should just do something at the track. I don't know.
Follow the smoke, you'll find my bonfire.
That's what we should really do, and just have boy, and you know what? And I'm gonna record that. That's gonna be a round table deal right there on the
great.
No video.
Yeah,
no video.
No
Believe
video.
me, audio will be enough, I'm sure.
No video.
So, yeah, and do you know Bob Kimmer very well?
Yes.
I never knew him until this the past season. But man, what a great guy for the sport. I mean,
he is. He's well spoken, soft spoken, and he's all about kart racing.
Boy, I guess
there's nothing else but kart racing, and you can't ask for a better person.
Yeah,
right there.
Right on, Bob Kemmer. We appreciate all you're doing, because definitely an asset to the sport. So that's it's just we will be camping in the pits this year. Whole fam damly is coming. Bonfire. All right, sounds good.
I got the fire covered.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so we should do that. Absolutely. Get a little round table going, and we'll mic up. We'll mic up Yao, and everybody can just ask questions.
Just don't mic me.
Lippy.
Video you.
Yeah.
Hey, I was the last one around the fire on Saturday night at 2-something in the morning. Where were you?
Where was I?
Saturday morning?
Yeah.
I was still sleeping.
I know.
Nice and comfortable.
Yeah.
Well, we should do that. I mean, why couldn't we mic up Yao? I mean, yeah, okay, if you want to, I mean, we could still be cordial if we're drinking, don't you think?
No. No. We'll have apple stuff there, so no.
Oh, yeah. Boy, that stuff's tough. Well, yeah, let's see what we get. Tony Williamson. He should be calling here anytime, man.
Oh yeah, Brian Williamson was at the fire with me too. So there was only a couple of us left at the fire there.
Is it a propane one or a wood one?
No, it was wood.
The dryer barrel one?
Yeah, we were confiscating wood from surrounding areas. We'll just say that.
Ooh.
We did find a golf cart. We held ourselves back from taking.
You were going to burn the golf cart?
No, we were just going to take it for a ride, but we decided that.
You don't want to do that. We had that happen at the Modified Nationals a couple of years ago, and somebody took off with the golf cart, and it didn't look too pretty when it come back.
Yeah, we discussed it several times but decided against it.
Your favorite drivers and people of interest in the motorsports world. It's time for In the Seat, powered by Blue Line Graphics.
All right. Well, he's a newbie by UAS standards, but by no means a newbie by karting standards. Please welcome to the show one of he's an up-and-comer, and he's a hot rod guy and every other thing. So his name is Tony Williamson. Welcome to the show, Tony.
Thank you.
Yeah, man. Are you were you there? So is everybody hearing that all right? I think it's okay. Yeah. Go ahead, Tony. Can you hear us okay?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. I'm not sure what's going on with this thing. I got a different cord on here than normal. That's probably it. But hey, so tell us, give us a little background. How long you been in karting?
I've been running karts since I was 11 years old, so working on 30 years now.
Wow, 30 years. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So
been wheeling the go-kart, legend cars, pretty much been doing asphalt stuff my whole life.
Yeah, and is that that's where you started then?
Asphalt, yep.
Yeah. So how close were you to well, you're married to her, so you knew Dan quite well, right?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. When I first started racing, my dad used to take me to the fence, and I used to have to watch my wife go around because that's how you used to go around the track. So we used to have to watch them.
Wow, that's awesome. So Hodap was pretty good, you know.
Yeah.
He was one of the greats. I mean, if we had a Hall of Fame here, I would definitely put him in there.
And who is Hodap?
Dan Hodap. He was a sprint racer that ran mainly the pavement stuff, but the Gold Cups, and he was just one of the greats. There's just no other way to put it.
Yeah, that's absolutely true.
So tell us, so you came out and you were, I remember at ORV you were running some of the four-stroke stuff, and then you had that one accident where you went sailing off turn one, and you said, all right, that's it, I'm done. I'm not doing that anymore. And the next thing we know, you got a UAS cart.
Yeah, well, the mistake was going down to BK8 and letting Bob see that. And pretty much since BK8, we've been behind the scenes building one. So running the CKA was just something to do and waiting for the UAS ride to be done.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. That is really awesome. So you hadn't been on anything that powerful since you started, right?
No, we went from a little 8-horse brakes to the UAS. It was quite a difference.
All right. And what was the biggest difference that you noticed between the regular carts? I mean, what was the biggest adjustment that you had to make?
Corner entry.
Corner entry.
Learning corner entry was the biggest.
Meaning what? Where or how fast?
How fast you're coming into the corner. In the LO206, you can read a book going down straight away as far as I'm concerned, and these things you don't have time to think.
Is that a good book you're reading or a bad one?
Oh, well.
You don't have to answer.
It really doesn't matter.
Yeah, I think you just got me in trouble.
So far, what do you think? I mean, because you've been you've raced it, like Saturday, stuff like that, where he has, but you haven't really been to anything super big with that yet, right?
No, the biggest class or biggest group we've been is 8. So I'm nervous as hell, to be honest with you, about BK9. So I'm just looking forward to making the A main. That's my first goal. And then once I make the A main, then we'll worry about the rest.
Right. Well, you know what, Tony? You'd be a liar if you said you weren't nervous. I mean, who wouldn't be? Who wouldn't be? I mean, seriously, people just don't understand how much go-kart that is. That's a ton. We all think
a lot of go-kart. That's absolutely a lot of go-kart. It's way more than I expected, and I underestimated it.
Absolutely, and I think a lot of people do.
I think that's a great thing about Tony is that he did come up through the ranks. It's not like some of the people that just decide they want to put themselves in a UAS cart and go out there and make the laps. He's put his time in. He's spent quite a bit of time on the sprint series and now he's come over to this. But he's not arrogant. He's not thinking he's all that in a bag of chips. He just wants to survive. That's what makes you so great, because you did cross over, and that's part of what we're trying to get going here is some of the people from the sprint series to come over and see what we offer here on the dirt. And you saw it, you liked it, you dove in, and you spent some time in the LO206, and now you're moving up to the UAS, which is a big step. But you also realize that there is a lot going on there, and I guess what happened is once you got into the seat, it was like, wow. Then just to watch you evolve into where you are now, and the progression that you made is a tribute. That's why we have you here today, is because we want to hear about that, and you've done a good job of it, and you are moving forward. So hats off to you with that, and to your kart owner. You guys have really stepped up and making a mark for yourself and going after it.
Yeah, I really appreciate that. Bob's actually built a really, really top flight machine. I'm really impressed with it. So that really helps as a driver when you can go out there and nothing on the chassis is bad. It's all good to go. It definitely helps.
Well, let me ask you. So is the key to this process baby steps? I mean,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. If I go any faster at this, I'm like right now. I'm staring at my tires, wondering which one I'm gonna pick and screw up on here. So, I don't know. My mind is going crazy right now.
So you're pretty confident with the car and where it is. It's just the science of tires, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty confident with the car. It's just knowing what tire to pick. We're so dang new. We got just about every prep in the garage right here. We got 6 sets of tires ready to go. We just don't know what to use and when.
Right. And I think that's everybody. You know, all I can tell you is from past experience. Like Chris C was saying, you know, I know last year he was recommending a harder tire there. You know, I mean, Diotti said he showed up at BK 7, and you know he was out to lunch. I mean, he was 11th or 12th, if you can believe that. Right. But he said we went with too soft a tire, and we were junk. We were done.
We were punching 30s on Sunday, and it wasn't. I felt I could have had way more than that. I was still sliding all over the dang place.
Right. Well, you know, when it's cold out, I mean, I don't know. So what are you thinking? You could have went, what, 22s or whatever?
I see, that's the thing. I have no idea. I am tire illiterate, so I
right.
just know that we were running yellow baggers that were punching mid-30s, and I was still lacked grip from mid straightaway to center.
Right. But, you know, I talked to Jeremy Brown, and, you know, he said he had 11s on, even in his Yamaha, and it just ate him up. So... Yeah. So, you know, I mean, no rubber down, really. It was icy. I don't know that it's going to be that cold on the 28th. I mean, it could be, but I doubt it. I mean, it'll be cool, but it won't be, like, frozen.
No, the last weather report I saw said was 52 for the high, and the middle of the night, you know, or early morning, it was going to be 30 degrees. So there's going to be no freezing. So, you know, it is. I'll just say it. It's a crapshoot as far as tires go, because, you know, everything. I know you guys haven't missed a race down there yet, but, you know, that's key, because you've learned the track. You know where everything is, and, you know, you're making your way around it. But everything, you know, isn't going to mount to a hill of beans this time. You know, everything that's worked up until this point doesn't necessarily mean it's going to work on that day. And that's kind of what my segment was about today, was, you know, you've got to be able to read the track. And I know you're green about that, but you've got a lot of people in your corner that are feeding you information. It's just up to you and your, you know, your crew chief to try and sort all that stuff out and figure out which one's going to be best for you. Just the fact that you have a selection of tires is a good thing, but, you know, it is going to be, you know, and it is going to be up to you guys to make the call. Nobody else is going to be able to do that for you, for sure.
Well, the master just said on here, Tony, Tim Chase, race the track and try and be smooth and smart. Tire prep, LOL, it's all snake oil. So you're going to be, just like Diotti said, you know, I raced the racetrack. I don't really worry too much ahead of time. I mean, you can try to plan and prepare, but at the end of the day, it's just you got to make the call that you know, at that time. There's just no really judging ahead of time.
Yeah, that's true. We can't be rookies and leave our. We actually left our prep at home this time, so we can't be doing that for the BK.
Well, you know what though? I'm not so sure that's not a bad idea. I mean, you know, really, what is it for? It's there to help it fire off, right? Early on, wherever, depending on where you want to come in. I mean, you know, is the prep still there? I mean, if in 20 laps, it probably will be. Now, if it was a 50-lap show or whatever, then, you know, sooner or later, that stuff's got to wear off or wear out. It isn't going to be stuck in the tire forever. That's why they continue to put it on.
We wrote some stuff Saturday night, and we were consistently 3/4 of a second faster all day long Sunday.
There you go.
On the same tire.
Wow.
See, there you go. You know, I mean, and it's all, you know, that's why you guys are down there each and every weekend, you know, whether it be Zeus fasteners or prep or whatever, you know, the next time around, it's all going to be where it should be when you get there. You know, it's just.
Well, you heard about the 12 missing Zeus fasteners, I take it.
I'm not throwing you under the bus or nothing. I'm just saying that stuff's not going to happen. And for those people that aren't making it down there now and that are going to show up on race day, those are all going to be the things that they're wishing were in their trailer. And I guarantee guarantee you that those are going to be in your trailer next time you show up down there. So, that's part of the advantage you guys are going to have. And you might think that you're green and not knowing, but you've already got more track time on that track than most of the people that are going to be showing up that day. So you got to stick that in your corner and sit on that as far as your confidence goes. As far as making a tire choice for you guys, it's all going to evolve. You're going to be able to look at the track. It might not be this year, but you're still, I like the fact that you're just shooting for the A main. You're not arrogant and thinking that I'm going to go out there and kick everybody's butt. You're just right now looking to be able to be into the A main, and that's really, that's what it's all about,
I want to be part of the show. That's my goal right now.
And Diotti just showed up. He says, I finally made it. So, Ryan, those of you just tuning in, our guest tonight is Tony Williamson from Kimmer Karting, and he's a new UAS racer. You guys chime in on that chat line, Diotti or Chase, Steven, if you're there, and maybe pop this guy a few, what's-ups and tell him what, he should be thinking. But, I like Diotti's deal. He says, I don't worry about things I can't control, right? And the racetrack's one of them. I mean, you never know what you're going to get, but everybody should be just planning to make the A main, right? There's not anybody showing up here that is guaranteed a spot in that bad boy. They might be really good, but they could be going home just like the next guy. So
absolutely,
I think everybody's goal should just be to be making the show, not just you, Tony.
Yeah, I hear that. There's a lot of guys going home.
There will be 14 spots and 36 or 7 guys. I mean, there going to be a lot of dudes going home. But
yeah, like I said, I've raced for a long time, and this is going to be the most competitive go-kart race I've ever been in.
Without question, it will be
by far.
I guarantee it. And if you happen to make that 14, you can say that. I mean, that is in my opinion, that is a huge feather in your cap. If you make one of those 14 spots or 16 spots if they go, man, dude. I mean, you've just raced in against the best of the best. I mean, there's just no doubt about it.
Yeah, that's the plan.
I like what your wife just had to say. One word: survival. That's it.
Really?
They've been trying to punch that in my head for the past few weeks. That's why I've tried to make it every lap.
Truthfully, I think there's some truth to that, right? I mean, but
there it is.
No doubt, Tony, you're going to be fine. I just think you need to trust your gut and get rocking. Jeff, you got something for him?
Nope. Just looking forward to watching him run next week.
Yeah, we all are, I think. What do you say? Diotti says, getting laps is the best thing he can do. Cool to see him there every week.
Yes, it is.
So, right on. So, oh, yeah. What did Tim say? Lots of quality carts will not make the A main. Just a little tough luck, and you're watching from the sidelines. All we can do is work hard and don't give up until you're in or out. That's awesome.
Yep, that says it all.
Yep, absolutely. Dale Schroeder. Wow. Schroeder Motorsports. The Blingmeister. You remember him from Oakwood? Yeah, it's his dad. That's pretty awesome. Look for him to be doing some great stuff in the late models. Well, Tony, I got a couple questions for you. We're going to play a quick 3 before we turn it over to Jeff here. Boxers or briefs?
Ooh.
Briefs.
What'd you say?
Briefs.
Briefs.
Okay. Chinese food or pizza?
Chinese food.
Nice.
Burris or Bridgestone?
Well, for the asphalt, it's Bridgestone, and for the dirt, it's Burris.
Good man.
But don't think, you got to just say it. Gas or methanol?
Methanol.
And finally, if coming off a turn 4, last lap for the flag for a BK win, who would win? Scooby-Doo or Dino?
Scooby-Doo, man.
Why?
I have no idea.
He'd be going rut-roll. Rut-roll.
Rut-row, yeah. Well, right on, Tony. We appreciate you being on the show, man. Don't doubt yourself. Just keep plugging, bro, because you're there. I mean, you're there.
Absolutely, man. Thanks for having me.
You bet, man. We'll see. You're gonna be. Well, you're not gonna. You can be doing anything this weekend. There's nothing this week.
Working on my stuff, getting it ready.
Right on. Well, we'll be talking to you soon, man. All right.
All right. We'll see you Friday.
Yes, sir. Thanks a lot, Tony.
All right. Take it easy.
Okay, buddy. Bye-bye. All right. Tony Williamson, everybody. Great guy. Super good guy.
I like what Lori Fuller had to say. The mystery machine is hooked up.
Is hopped up, I mean. Yeah.
Hopped up, sorry.
Yeah. We got
Or hooked up.
Yeah, or whatever. We got to close. We're going to go to Jeff here in a minute. Get him going here.
Well, looking into, I've kind of got some highlights of some of the bigger races coming to the tracks around the country here. We did a couple Grays Harbor and Sunset last week. We're going to do, Sunset this week. Got the Bob Marley Street Stock Memorial. Then they got one race that's really kind of cool. It's $25 a carload. Many people's you can stuff in the car, goes in the gate for $25. Pretty neat deal. They got the Bud Light Ironman 100, and that's for the pure stocks, and they get $200 or $300 to win that one. They got the Wild West Speed Weeks on a Wednesday night. Then they're going to be running Monster Truck Mania, and I just seen a deal on Twitter where any of you guys that know monster trucks or follow monster trucks, I guess Dennis Anderson's in the hospital with Gravedigger last night. Decided to do a backflip and landed wrong, and now he's got internal bleeding. They're not sure what they're going to be able to do. So, little prayers for Dennis there.
Yeah,
he's one of the
saw
showmen.
that. Not good.
He tried to play Carl Edwards.
Yeah, well, he was flipping with the truck, not him.
Oh, got it.
And then they got on the 4th of July, they're going to run the modified Firecracker 50, and the modifieds are on 50 laps, and then they'll have a huge fireworks show. Then on the 8th, Jim Thriftway Street Stock Show, and that one's $1,000 to win for street stocks. And then they'll be running the Topless 100. That's $1,000 to win for the modifieds. They got the 4B Challenge, which was kind of a neat little deal where they ran 30 laps one way and then turned around and ran 30 laps the other. So that'd be one of their bigger events. And then they're going to be the City of Banks puts on a tractor pull, and this is kind of cool because these are farm tractors. They're actual working tractors that pull a sled. So
nice,
kind of a cool little deal. I've been there a couple times. Got kind of drunk too.
That'll be fun. Oh well, drunk really?
Yeah. Oh yeah, they got a lot of beer there.
Nice. Are we going?
You see Lippy's ears perk up.
Yeah.
He's like that sleeping dog that hears the noise. What is it?
Well, down in Willamette on the 3rd of June will be the Strawberry Cup. This is Terry and I both raced in the Strawberry Cup before. Then on the 10th they'll be running the Clay Cup. And then they actually have 3 nights of the Modified Speed Week. One's be the 29th, 30th, and July 1st. And the Sports Mods will be joining them for that series. The Clare Cup will be on the 8th of July. And on the 9th or the 6th of September, they have the World Outlaws will be there in town. So,
you think they'll ever have a Ribs Cup? Doubt it.
Then Cottage Grove, they got some pretty good races this year. Some big time stuff like the Marvin Smith Memorial. It's actually a 3-day race, and it pays $4,000 to win for sprint cars.
Dang.
The Wallbanger Cup, it pays $1,000 to $1,026 to win. And then they got a couple of nights of the Speed Weeks, too. And then there's the Mark Howard Memorial, which they're now are using it as the Modified Nationals. And Mark was a guy that supported racing and you know him, and I know him.
Yep, he's a good guy.
He was a good guy, and they're actually going to pay $2,600 to win that race. So that's a good payday for modifieds.
But there's a lot of racing going on around here.
The wingless cars will be running down there at the end of July, and they're actually getting a $2,000 to win night. And that's a lot for the wingless guys, which is cool.
Shoot.
I know, right?
The Summer Thunder Sprint Car Series, which is Steve Beitler's deal. He's talked Cottage Grove into a couple nights at the first part of August, so there'll be 2 nights down there.
Sweet.
They got the Loggers Cup, which is a $1,500 to win, and I think that's a street stock race. Is their got the main money, and then they're going to be having monster trucks. Everybody's got a key this year in all the dirt tracks. It's called monster trucks
Because they are a draw.
They are a draw.
They
Well,
are a draw.
the big rigs last year, I was kind of impressed with them at Willamette because they went in there and the fire marshal actually come in and shut them down. They said no more people in the stands. You're too full.
Wow.
So yeah, I don't think we've seen that at that place
Well,
for years and years.
There's rumors, out there by you, the Harvest Fest, right? I was talking to, I can't remember his name now, but he runs the joint, and they used to have monsters, but they're talking about having a big, maybe a cage cart deal out there, a big wing ding out there. So, you know the Harvest Fest is out there, Sublimity. Yeah. So that's a big deal. I mean, I guess they had, they got TVs and all kinds of cool stuff out there. So,
yeah,
I don't know.
That's one of the cooler things in that area.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean,
then next week I'll kind of do the asphalt races here. We'll get Wenatchee, Evergreen, and
yeah, that'll be cool. Yeah, Northwest Super Late Models. That's guys. There is no lack of racing around here. It just all depends on what you like. I mean, the Northwest Ford Focus Midget Series is going to be going on. They've got some cool stuff. Hopefully, we'll be able to just go down and do one of those here. Just do it, right?
Thanks.
Yeah, I'd like to, if the other deal. But, I did tell you last week I was going to do some stuff. I got an offer from the Northwest Super Late Model Series to do their events. And they want me to be behind the camera or in front of the camera, and because he wants to stream the stuff live. I just, I don't know the logistics of all that, but I'm certainly gonna consider that just because, if I can get that gear, that would be a way to, help the UAS, help the Northwest Super Late Models, help anywhere we go, right? We could really start doing some cool stuff. So I'm going to seriously consider that. What does that mean? It means they only got 9 races, but I don't know if that conflicts. All I do know is I'm not missing the Nationals. I know that. I'm no matter what. So hopefully that's going to be a something that goes, right? And so we'll see what happens. I'll keep you guys posted on that, but I'd be doing it for the good of the whole deal, right? I mean, if we could get that gear, that would just mean, man, we could do some serious stuff on like the BK and stuff. We could do some serious then we can run like a program. It's not just a race. We could do it like a true deal. But anyway, nonetheless, how about Tony Williamson, guys? Good.
Yep.
Good guy. Good guy. He's so modest and humble and down to earth. Just good stuff.
Definitely a good guy. I've got a couple of notes here. I did finally make contact with ORV today. He asked me for a schedule. So
wow.
Things might be looking pretty good there. We had a long talk. Things might be looking pretty good there. I know the gate fee is going to go up for sure. No more $5 entry. It's going to be a $10 entry. He did pass that on to me. He hasn't passed on what rider fees are going to be yet, but He doesn't want to lose us, was what his words were to me today. So that is very positive.
Wow, that's incredibly cool.
That was 20 minutes before I got here, so that's good news. Also, on some good news, the Clark family's dad came home today.
Oh, awesome!
So that's a great thing. I'm glad to hear that he's home. Prayers are with him. On a sad note, Scott McDowell, my boss at Scott Sealcoat, lost his dad today.
Oh.
That just passed on to me less than 5 minutes ago.
Oh, my Lord.
Heart and prayers and everything goes out to Scott.
Wow.
I'm sorry to hear that. Kenny was a great guy. He supported karting. He supported his child. Yeah.
Man,
So,
Scott McDowell, we love you, man.
we do. Nobody likes to go through that, buddy, and I'm sorry for that.
Wow.
So, great supporter of the show, great supporter of our sport. So, our prayers and thoughts are with you for sure.
Absolutely. Mr. Miller, Steve Miller, you guys need to make it down there to Salem. Don't forget, BK coming up. We'd love to see you down there. And we think about you all the time. So I know you guys don't really tune into the chat deal that much, but if you're listening, big shout out to you guys too.
Definitely.
You've done so much for us. You don't even know.
Hey, I'm going to do my fun fact before we leave.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh,
fun
nice.
fact. Yes.
We've got time.
Jeff's fun fact. Here we go.
Back in Boone, Iowa, they run the IMCA Nationals. This last year at the IMCA Nationals, there was 906 cars. They were racing for 5 days and literally into the very early morning hours.
I would guess.
Well, they had rain, so and they don't cancel nothing. They'll go all night long if they have to. At 5:15 in the morning, the A main ended on Friday night, and then they started racing at 10 o'clock in the morning again. So, but they had 906 cars. There was 260 modifieds. There was 191 street stock. There was 181 Northern Sport mods. There was 124 hobby stocks. There was 84 sport compacts, 33 late models, and 33 sport mods, which was 3,480 laps of racing and 351 races.
Holy cow.
That's in 5 days.
They got to have like 50 acres just to park everybody.
There's the picture.
Wow.
Look at that thing. It's like a city.
That's pretty incredible.
Well, a couple years ago,
impressive.
The guy I run with went back there, and they out off this end of this track out here is one of the main highways that runs through there, and the racing was over, and they were all headed for the beer garden and the big chili feed that was going on, and all of a sudden the tornado siren took off, and they look up, and the tornado's going down that highway. So bunch of them, they just bail into this trailer, and these guys, they started barbecuing, they're drinking beer, and Chris said, I'm sitting in front of the trailer. He said, I'm shaking. He says, all I can think of, I'm going to clack my heels together saying there's no place like home. I want out of here. And the guy come over to him and says, you're looking a little nervous. He says, you know what? Tornadoes only hit trailer parks, and there's about 700 of them here. I want out of here.
Wow. Yep. And that is Jeffrey's fun fact. Tune in next week for another fun fact. We're gonna have to we gotta get some fun facts here.
Yeah, for sure. That was a good one though. I like that.
Yes. Oh, thank you. Man, it's good to be a part of it, Clark Family Racing. Well, that's about it for us. We're probably gonna go once the summer hits.
Yeah,
we're probably gonna go 2. I think we're gonna probably go 6:30 to 8:30, or maybe bump it up 6 to 8, or
yeah, we haven't decided
whatever.
yet. Give your input on that one, but yeah, once the season's probably starts, we're probably gonna bump it up to 2 hours just so we can keep up with everything and not hustle through everything as the summer goes on.
Right, because we want to keep it real, where chit-chat in between. We don't just want to be reading stuff constantly. But Ken Harmon, good night, buddy. Thanks for staying up late. Where are you at, by the way? Are you back? Well, how far back east are you? I wonder. And Ron Bowles, right on, man. Right on, right on. I guess we're just about out. Well, next week, here's the deal. We're going to try to get our Blue Line Graphics in the seat guest. Going to be somebody really special. We're going to try to get Buddha's sister on here.
Sweet.
We're going to get talk to Ronnie about that, and we're going to try to get her on. This will be a very interesting guest. You'll get to know all about Buddha and find out what he was all about, and from his sister. Lippy will be back with segment 3 on his tracks. The loader over there, he's going to have some, he'll have another fun fact. The old guy rules. He'll have another fun fact. He's going to be talking about the pavement schedule coming up. We'll be covering what happened at the Cage Card event this weekend, 2-day show. And then we'll be also finalizing the BK9 stuff. So come with your predictions, and we'll put them to the test.
Yeah, we should be announcing the driver's roster next week, and
we will. We'll get a good official one and let everybody get up there and get in there. Lippy, man, good job this weekend. Even though you struggled a little bit, you were still there supporting it, and that's. I
had a good time.
Yeah.
Other than.
Yeah, we know that's okay.
Stuff happens.
Yeah, Corey Markham, that wasn't intentional. I know you know that.
He's a good racer and a clean racer.
He is a clean racer, for sure. And, Loader, thanks for the fun fact. That was cool.
You're welcome. I enjoyed looking it up.
Yeah, it's cool.
Something to do.
Big shout out to True Tech Automotive, Speed City LLC, and the one we couldn't do without, Blue Line Graphics, Brian Esquinia, Scott Sealcoat. Just they make it happen each and every week, so we appreciate it. If you want to advertise on it, give me a holler. It's pretty inexpensive. We'll get you a clip, and you get all that for free. So once you sign up and get in, we give you an MP3. You can have it. You get that with your payment. $20 a show, and if you're interested, give us a holler. We'll hook you up. Lip, you want to close us out tonight?
It's all good in the hood because I missed that this morning or this early on in the show because I was late. And when the bottom's full, where are you going to go?
You're going to go to the top, I hope.
I'm going where nobody else is at.
I'm telling you, the
doesn't matter
high
where you are.
side.
That's right. Be good, be kind to everybody. We love you. We'll see you next week, 6:30, right here on the Northwest Race Report. Spread the word for us. It takes a village, and you guys are a part of it. Thanks a lot, guys. We'll see you next week.
That is good.